Hi, I'm Jim Raffle. Welcome to this week's episode of the Jim and Shelby Show, All Things Print Podcast. I am not joined by Shelby this week, but I am in the Azon booth at the West Coast Art and Frame Show. And we've got a Curion scanner over here that we are doing scans with. And you got some literature here about that. And then over here, we have a Canon printer. And so we actually color manage the workflow right in the booth, everything from using TrueHue to calibrate the monitor, it's a touchscreen monitor that's part of the scanner. So we use TrueHue to calibrate that. So at least what they're seeing on that monitor is closer to what the scan is actually producing. And then we came over here to the Canon. I'm going to walk over here. And what we did is we used the ColorLogic Copra software to create a custom profile we used a very small target because we're in a trade show and we didn't have a lot of time, but we did a 500 patch target, measured it with our i1, our trusty i1 Pro 3 in hand mode, which those of you who know me know that I love my I/O table. So it was some work for me, but I did it. And then what's cool is you can look at in Copra, you can actually see. And I'm sure this isn't showing up right. We might grab some video and add it, but the outer profile is the profile we created. So that's our output profile, and the dots inside are one of the scans that we made. So it shows that the profile of this particular printer this output profile is capable of producing what that scanner can scan. And that's a great thing to know because you're not going to have any color clipping, or your rendering intents aren't going to really come into play at all, because basically you have enough gamut to produce whatever you need. So you can use a relative rendering intent for my tech buddies, and you don't need to use perceptual, which a lot of people would do in the art space. If you're wondering how that plays out, again, I'm not sure how it's going to show up, but we've got two prints here. The one on top, if I'm not mistaken, is the custom profile that we built. And you can see that the greens are a little nicer. The sand just looks a little more natural. This is a painting. It's a print of a painting, so it's not a print of a photograph. And we don't have the original in this particular case, but if we run over to this side of the booth, we have the artwork we had the artwork we scanned. I guess we do it. We still have that. That's fine. But we've got this piece of artwork which we scanned yesterday for our setup, and this is one of our prints. And is it perfect? No, but we're in a trade show booth. We had limited time, and you can see that this is just basically what you got, scanning with the standard Apurion software, sending it to a machine and printing it with the Canon software. And I don't know, I think this one was actually even printed with a standard Canon profile. So it's very easy to tie this all together, and that's why we're here. And we're going to interview Andrew with Azon in a few minutes, but for now, we'll call it that. All right, as mentioned, we are here with Andrew from Azon.
Yep.
And I was thinking about how long we've known each other. I think it was several years ago, maybe even 10 years ago.
About 10 years ago.
With the flatbed printers.
Yep.
You reached out to us for some of our color management knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And then you reached out again, about a year, 18 months ago when you picked up the Apurion line, right?
Yes, yep. So we had some customers that were...
well, tell people a little bit about Azon. What do you guys do?
So we're a distributor for Canon printers and context scanning equipment. And we also sell flatbed printers and such like that. And so what brought us together is predominantly the Apurion scanners, this wonderful new digital scanner, flatbed art scanner, touchless, that allows people in the art world to be able to do reproductions really easy from original artwork.
And so you reached out to us, and we helped with North Penn Art.
Oh yeah,
and we can drop in we'll drop in an image here in a minute that shows the original scan, mm-hmm. and then 4 different prints on different medias using, in their case it was Epson printers, but it was 4 different medias. That's the part that matters.
Yeah.
That we custom profiled, right? And so we talked about that in our earlier segment when we introed. And so it was because of you guys. You put us together. You saw the connection.
Well, it was. We have a great scanner, and it will scan the original and give you a wonderful file. Okay, but what was missing was the translation of this wonderful file to a print that they could then sell.
Right.
And so the challenge was these places they had kind of an ad hoc color management methodology for their output. And I said, I need to get G7 guys into this space and get them to help produce better results. and you guys were somebody we already knew and confidence in, and so we asked that you talk to North Penn Art and see if we can organize you getting in and helping them out to get their work, and they've been ecstatic.
He just came by
He
about
just
20
came
minutes
by.
ago. Yeah.
He was like, "This has been a game changer for me and such like that." And this is a midlife crisis. Guys are buying Corvettes, and I spent $50,000 in a scanner.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah.
And so, but he's making more money out of it because two things: he got a great device that did the things that he needs it to do, and then his entire workflow and work process improved by having this consultant come in and do some help.
And that's what we outlined earlier, right? I mean, now here we color calibrated the monitor that's part of the scanner. He actually went as far as to buy a very high-end monitor, have me color calibrate, and he put them in 4 or 5 locations throughout his shop, so everybody was looking at color accurately. And then, everything we did here, right? So we scanned, we moved the file over, we profile the printers, and we did the whole thing.
And the custom, because the printers are great. Canon does a great job of calibrating their medias, etc. But you're going to end up with some specific canvas that you're going to need some third-party that doesn't have a profile, and you guys are able to not only make profiles from, but show them how to intelligently maybe use that profile on even a third thing, and just do a better job of getting output.
And so, if people want products you have, I know that for the most part you are a distributor, right?
Yeah.
So they would, but if they reach out to you, you'll connect them with a dealer, or
oh, absolutely,
okay.
Yeah. Right. So we evangelize Canon products. We're not a distributor that sells like Canon and Epson and HP and all the brands. Just you tell me what you want. We focused in on products that our customers can be profitable selling and will be proud to represent and get great results.
And they work well together.
Yeah, and they do. They really work well together. The Canon product's been easy to use and always high quality. So that's been the things. We'll get them to the right dealer that'll get their product to them and provide the support they need. With the context scanners, we also have dealers for that, but the Pyron is a specialty product. It has a lot of color needs and some special setups, so we tend to do those installations for our dealers or even a direct sell. So we'll sell those direct.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. And we'll catch some more of the show in a little bit. All right, we're going to take a quick walk through the show floor. So we are going to be in the event space at the Horseshoe Casino in Las Vegas. Let's go take a look around. As we walk in, they're actually using 2 ballrooms. The one up here, or this might actually be the normal trade show event space. And there's a lot up here. Our friends IT Supplies are somewhere over there on the left. I found them. Epson's over here to the right somewhere. But you can see this is not, I'm always surprised by the size of the West Coast Art and Frame Show. Now, a lot of it is frame and material, so obviously not necessarily in our space, graphics and print, but definitely close to and allied with us. There is also another scanner, big flatbed scanner here somewhere. I'm not going to necessarily find it, but there's our friends from Epson. If I can get around this pole. There's our friends from Epson. And I think down this aisle is the scanner that I talked about. So it's an alternative to the Aperion, but is not technologically equivalent. I've done some research. If anyone's wondering about that, feel free to reach out to me, and I can explain to you what some of those differences are. I'm going to get down here and take a quick look at it, though. You see it looks space age, and it's a little bit bigger, but it does not have the same quality capabilities. All right, we're going to double back here a little bit, and I think we'll be able to walk by our friends at IT Supplies. We'll wave, and then I'm going to show you the other hall because this is only half of the event. There's IT Supplies. Looks like we did a little rebranding. I like the blue, a little less red. All right, now we're going to head over to the other hall. So we're coming back down the stairs, and we'll head into the other hall. You see, it's almost like a second complete trade show floor. Now, neither one of these floors is big by itself, but both are substantial, and you can put them together. It makes West Coast Art and Frame a pretty big show to attend from a vendor's perspective, and there's good floor traffic, so I'm impressed. So it goes all the way down there. Again, lots more print and framing materials. And if we head down this aisle over here, we are going to get a approach to the Azon Purion booth. And there we are. That's our quick tour of the show floor and the entrance into and out of the show. All right, Shelby. So I know you weren't at West Coast Art and Frames, but it is, I think it's our first trade show of the year. I know we've had some schedule changes. So it's the first one that we actually had a presence at. Everything happened pretty fast from my perspective because I would have loved to have stayed for Sunday too, because they had some really good traffic in the Azon booth over the course of the day. I think we might get some business out of it. And it was fun to be part of a booth that actually showcased technology and wasn't just there to sell. I mean, they actually, the more I think about it, they fulfilled like one of my goals of a trade show booth. It actually showed a color workflow, right? They had a working scanner. We had color calibrated that monitor with TrueView, so you could put the artwork in, you could scan it, you could look right at the monitor and get a quick, feel for whether the color was right. We built a custom profile for that Canon printer, and it all worked. I mean, could it have been tweaked and improved a little bit? Heck yeah, but we pulled that together on Friday afternoon in about an hour and a half, 2 hours after they had all the equipment set up, and we tweaked it a little bit on Saturday morning, and all day long we were demonstrating it, and they kept using that profile on Sunday too. I checked back with them, and people were impressed with the results they were seeing. So it is possible to properly demonstrate color technology in a trade show booth, it appears. So
That's awesome. Good. I'm glad that you had time to go do that and represent us. Obviously, we've talked, we're not going to be at every show this year, and we're probably both not going to be at every show this year, except
Right.
for maybe the bigger ones. I've never been to West Coast Art and Frame. How big of a show is this? I saw your videos, and it looked like there were two ballrooms. Is it, can you give me like a reference point, like another show to compare it to?
Um, whatever the largest GPX show you've ever been to,
Okay.
it's probably that.
Okay.
Maybe even plus a little bit.
Mhm.
The, the other thing about West Coast Art and Frames is it has a huge educational and meeting component because it is the annual meeting of,
Mhm.
of is it PPA, Professional Picture Framers Association. Um, and so it's a really engaged audience. I mean, that's the part that I found interesting. A lot of times you have these trade show floors at these types of events, and there's not a lot of traffic. And there was, I mean, we had people coming in that booth all day Saturday. I can't speak to Sunday because I wasn't there, but
Mhm.
uh, it's a vibrant show. It's a show that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. I know I attended once after COVID, and it was much smaller, but they seem to have fully rebounded. I mean,
Okay.
this is as big as I ever remember it being, as far, just square footage. I don't know about attendance, but square footage, it's as big as I ever remember it. Yeah, I mean, I think that if Azon is there again, or we have a partner there, or we get selected to speak, I think we go. It's one of those shows that I think is probably worth it. Um, Especially, like I said, I talked to 2 or 3 people who were interested in what we had put together in that booth, doing in their shop, and so just a matter of seeing whether or not those people come through. So
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome.
So our next show is going to be in
Yep.
April, right?
It's going to be ISA, I believe. Yeah. We'll be
And
back in Vegas.
oh, that is Vegas. Oh,
It is Vegas. Yes. Bernie United is Orlando.
no, I know we go to one of my, well, it's not my least, it's probably my second favorite trade show town, but it's a very distant second to Vegas. So, um, cool. So hopefully we get to, I haven't talked to Azon yet. I know they were thinking about that show. And if they do it, who knows? Maybe we'll be doing the same setup again. So,
Okay. Well, keep
all
me
right.
up.
We will see you next episode.